answered, and they did not disappoint. Just a word of warning. Oh God, sorry. There's a lot of noise outside. A word of warning, gentlemen out there who are watching this. It might be slightly offensive. It's in jest. There's a lot of sexism and just certain stuff going on in this time period. So some of that will play a role in how people talk. And if you find it offensive, I apologize. Just don't watch it then. I just thought it was really funny and interesting. The whole idea, like Victorian concepts, but like the whole idea of women hitting like their 20s and suddenly they're too old. I find it messed up and also hilarious at the same time. It's weird. So I thought I would cover that a little bit because I thought it's funny. So the article was posted by Holly Richardson 3 years ago. And we'll get into it here. Victorian feminists were asked to send answers to Why Am I a Spinster into a magazine. Spinster, what does that word mean in 2019? Well, the Oxford Dictionary defines it as an unmarried woman, typically an older woman beyond the usual age for marriage. Let's just park the fact that it suggests there is a usual age for marriage for a second. Let's just park the fact that it suggests there is a usual age for marriage for a second while we unpack this. Originally it was used in the 17th century as the official legal description of an unmarried woman. Today it is used as a derogatory term, alluding to the stereotype of a woman beyond her 30s who was unmarried and doesn't have children. It was used as that for a long time. It's not just recently, but thanks to stylists. The male equivalent of spinster is, there isn't one. Bachelor is perhaps the closest thing, which is defined as a man who is not and has never been married. Notice how unsurprisingly age and the number of children he has doesn't even come into here. But the dictionary does address how outdated the idea of spinsterhood is. Adding the development of the word spinster is a good example of the way in which a word acquires strong connotations to the extent that it can no longer be used in a neutral sense. Imagine then how much worse the stigma must have been during the Victorian era, when women had very few rights. But judging by letters discovered by a historian, they didn't have time for the word either. Victorian pop culture historian Dr. Bob Nicholson shared some hilarious responses that were sent into the magazine Tidbits. In 1889, when women were asked the question, "Why am I a spinster?" Nicholson shared them on Twitter, and here are a few of the highlights. In 1889, Tidbits magazine offered prizes to single female readers who sent in the best answers to the question, "Why am I a spinster?" And so they're going to share basically some of the best ones. Here are a few of the highlights. Because men, like three-cornered tarts, are deceitful. They are very pleasing to the eye, but on closer acquaintanceship, prove hollow and stale, consisting chiefly of puff, with a minimum of sweetness and an unconquerable propensity to disagree with one, wrote Miss Emmeline Lawrence. No, I do not condone this attitude towards men. I just thought these answers were funny. I don't think men are all deceitful. I think that it's meant as a joke. Next one says, because I do not care to enlarge my menagerie of pets, and I find the animal man less docile than a dog, less affectionate than a cat, and less amusing than a monkey, said Annie Thompson. Like the wild mustang of the prairie that roams unfettered, tossing its head in utter disdain at the approach of the lasso which is once around his neck. proclaims him captive, so I find it more delightful to tread on the verge of freedom and captivity than to allow the snarer to cast around me the matrimonial lasso. Shared Sarah Kennerly. My reason for being a spinster is answered in a quotation of The Taming of the Shrew. Of all the men alive I never yet beheld, that special face, which I could fancy more than any other, added Lizzie Moore. We can't help but wonder if the answers to the question would be very similar if it were asked today, and I completely agree, which is why I wanted to read this. I have a few more here that I pulled up as well. These ones are printed out. Because matrimony is like an electric battery. When you once join hands, you can't let go. However much it hurts, and as one embarked on a toboggan slide, you must go to the bitter end, however much it bumps. Miss Laura Bax, 29 Pelham Road, Wood Green, London. Sorry. Because I'm an English lady and the Americans monopolize the market. Miss Jessie Davies, 16 Claremont Road, Sparkbrook, Birmingham. Sorry, more noises. Because I am like the rival volunteers, always ready, but not yet wanted. I don't think I said that one. That was Miss Annie Thompson again. John, whom I loved, was supplanted in his office by a girl who was doing the same amount of work he did, but for half the salary he received. He could not earn sufficient to keep a home, so went abroad. Consequently, I am still a spinster. Miss E. Jones, 32 St. Peter's Street, Mile End, London East. Do I have any others? I think there's any more here. I think I got some of these on Board Panda. Here's another. Because I have other professions open to me in which the hours are shorter, the work more agreeable, and the pay possibly better. Miss Florence Watts, 29 High Street, Fulham, Southwest. And this is I think the last one I have here. Because, like a piece of rare china, I am breakable and bendable, but difficult to match.